Hi everyone, Steve here from Steve's Customized and Engrave, coming to you from Davenport, Florida. Today we're going to do the unboxing and setup of the Refinecolor RF-ZZ1S printer. So let's get to it. Alright, so the first one I'm going to be unboxing is the RF-ZZ1S, the flatbed printer. So you can see the crate it came in. Alright, you got these latches here that open up. It's on a hinge system, and I'm going to go ahead and lift this up, and then inside here there's the printer and there's the accessory box there. Alright, so next step, what I'm going to do, because you have somebody help you lift this out, is I'm going to dismantle the crate on the sides, and it'll be easy to lift out. And additionally, you will need to remove this wood. There's screws on the side, so you'll unscrew one screw from each side and pull this piece of wood out, because that's keeping the printer nice and snugly fastened down on the pallet. And here are the screws you'll have to take out to remove that piece of wood that's going across the printer. Alright, so I went ahead and took the screws off the hinges. See? And now I'll be able to remove this top cover completely. Alright, so this is the printer sitting in the crate with the top cover removed. Alright, now you have 4 of these bands here. I'm going to go ahead and take all 4 of these off. So that'll be 4 screws on each one, and there's 4 of them. Alright, once you take the wood away, it'll be nice and easy to lift with somebody onto your table. Alright, so here's the Refinecolor RF-ZZ1S out of its crate. Alright, I'll give you a couple of views here. There's the front, and there's the top, and here's a view of the rear. Alright, so as you can see here, the printer measures 30 inches wide, and the depth sitting at 23 inches deep, not counting the trays, just the frame of the machine. And then just something to note, the legs are 30 inches wide, but the legs are 17 inches deep, so when you're planning your table, you can take into account you'll need 17 inches for the actual feet. And then the height of the machine is 17.5 inches. And then you go ahead and open up all the accessories you get. You have the ink, and you have some replacement parts. Most of this stuff, part-wise, you're not going to use right now. Obviously, you're going to use the ink, and there is some cleaning solution as well in there. Alright, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and remove this screw here. That'll release this carriage on the top. So we'll go ahead and unscrew that. And go ahead and take it off. Now we should be able to move this side to side. There you go. Alright, next thing we're going to do is remove these tape front and back. That's the front, and we're going to remove these off the back. Alright, now with the tape off, you should be able to pull the platform all the way forward, and then we'll go around back, and then on the back you should be able to slide the platform all the way to the back. So now make sure you give yourself clearance. You see on the back of the machine, you got to give yourself clearance, so it can't be against the wall. Alright, so you will need about 6 inches from the rear of the machine to the wall to make sure the bed can move smoothly. Alright, now from the back of the machine, I'm going to go ahead and get plugged in. Turn the machine on. And then while you're back here, go ahead and plug the network cable in. Okay. Now with the power plug in and turned on, come to the front, and we're going to go ahead and turn this. And now that gives power to the printer. There you go. It is powered on. Alright, now with it powered up, let's make sure everything works. Let's go up on the bed. Alright. Okay. Bed moves in and out. Moves up and down. And then left and right works, and then the lock button brings it all the way in. Looking good. Now I went ahead and plugged the USB stick in already, so I'm going to go into File Explorer. So I have the USB drive here. Okay. On the USB drive, you're going to have instructional videos, test pictures, the instruction manual, and this is what we're going to be working with next, the Print EXP software. It is a zip file, so I'm going to go ahead and unzip it. So I'm extracting all. We'll give that a second to run. Alright, now it's extracted. I'm going to click into the folder right here, and we're going to go ahead and get it installed here. Alright, so now we got the setup wizard here. We're going to hit next, and we're going to hit install. Now while that's running, another tip, you don't necessarily have to extract the files. Most computers will let you click into the zip file, and you can start it from inside the zip file. So You don't necessarily have to extract it for it to run. And obviously the speed of your computer will affect how long it takes to install. I'm actually using an older computer, so it might be taking a little bit longer. Alright, it's installed. I'm not going to launch it just yet because we're going to go ahead and put the ink in on the next step. So I'm going to hit finish, close out of that, and you'll see the icon is here. Alright, let's go add some ink. Alright, take all the ink out of the plastic bag, which I've done here. You'll be working with 5 colors here: your white, your black, your magenta, your cyan, and your yellow. And when you unscrew it, it's a little silver thing here, little cover. So you go ahead and take a blade and go ahead and cut the hole out. Alright, let's get that ready. Now before we put the inks in, recommend giving them a good shake. Alright, let's head to the printer. So now you're going to be adding the ink, same color as marked here: white, black, magenta, blue, yellow. This is for waste ink, so nothing goes in there. Okay, over time waste ink will develop in here, but not to worry about that now. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add the ink. Alright, so a couple of things before we load the ink. I'm going to go ahead and start Print EXP. Hit yes. So just a couple of quick settings you need to look at. Alright. Starts at print. You want to go into RIP here, under RIP, the menu. So you want to go into printer setting and make sure XP600 UV is selected as your default. Okay, it may pick one of these other ones. Okay, XP UV default, set as default. Go ahead and exit that. Then on the menu also, you have your canvas size. Okay, I measured the bed. Mine's 33 centimeters by 60 centimeters deep. Okay, you are going to have to put a setting in there. This way you're working within the right parameters. All right. So let's go ahead and load some ink. I'm going to go into setting, and you see here, load ink. I'm going to go ahead, change that to first inking, and we're going to hit load ink for 30 seconds. hit stop. Alright, so we loaded the ink for 30 seconds, then it went and did a head cleaning its head on its own. So now that that's done, we're going to load ink for another 5 seconds. And we went ahead and stopped it at 5 seconds. Now after that second cleaning, you should see a little pool there of ink. I'm going to shake it a little bit, see? That's what you should see. Alright, we're going to return it to home, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to do another cleaning. Alright, the cleaning is done. Now, just to give you some points of reference here, I'm going to hit L to move this off. Now, whenever you have this off and you want to bring it back all the way, we don't want to use the R button because that won't bring it all the way to its lock position. You have to hit the lock button, okay? Lock brings it all the way back. If you hit R, it does not go all the way back to its position, okay? Always use lock. So here you have a wiper that wipes the heads. You can see the ink on it. That's something you'll clean to keep that maintained. And then you can see all the ink in here. You'll be cleaning that as well. Okay, and that's where the print head sits when it's not being used. So just a couple of things to show you. Now again, I'm going to hit lock, because you'll see it gives it that little extra lift, which lifts that underneath the print head and keeps it nice for you. And just another quick point of reference, make sure this button is pushed in for the UV LED to be on. Alright, now we've loaded the ink, we've cleaned the head. I've put a piece of white paper on the bed, and I'm going to go ahead and do a nozzle check. So we're going to again push the nozzle. Alright. Now you can see the nozzle check. Now anything less than 10 is normal, so it actually looks good. Okay. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and we're going to print the color flag next. Alright, so we're going to get ready to do our color test flag. I've went ahead and taped a piece of paper to the bed here. I'm going to go ahead and raise it up. Now what you want to make sure is that you're leaving about 2 millimeters between the print head and what you're printing on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go up. Right about there. So just about 2 millimeters. Okay, that looks good. We're going to send it back to the lock position, and we're going to bring the bed in. Alright, that looks good. So, we're going to start Print EXP. Now we're going to go into RIP, and I'm going to show you on your USB drive you do have a folder called Test Pictures. I would go ahead and move that onto your desktop because that has the color flag and a couple of other things, okay? Like this position one, I'm going to show you that real quick. I'm going to go ahead and bring this in. Now original size would be pretty small. Knowing my bed is 30 centimeters wide, which is 300 millimeters, I'm going to hit that. As you can see, it brings in this nice little measuring tool, and then you can bring in other things to measure against it. So just something to use if you think you need it. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I'm going to bring in the color flag. So let's go ahead and hit import. There's the color flag. I don't want it 300 millimeters, that would be huge. The original size is fine. Now remember, this is proportionate to your bed. So if you put this on a position where there's no paper, it's going to print right on your bed. So just be mindful, okay? So this is actually corresponds to your actual printer bed. So I'm going to go ahead and come up a little bit. I'm going to do it about here. Okay? Now up here where it says spot, make sure your white is set to all. I think by default it'll say none, but after your first time you change this, it'll always be set to all, okay? So this would be okay. And we're going to go ahead and print it. Now you have some options, 8, 12, or 16. We'll go right in the middle and do 12. You can go ahead and experiment with the different UV pass settings. And we're going to hit print. Software is initializing. Alright, it's getting ready to print. Alright, it's putting down some white, and then it's going to add the color to it. Alright, there it is. Colors look good, look vibrant. Printer setup is complete. Welcome back. As you can see, setting up the Refinecolor ZZ1S printer is pretty easy, but just have to follow the directions closely. And of course, if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in purchasing a Refinecolor printer, go ahead and visit customizeindengrave.com and I'll take care of you. And of course, any questions or comments, feel free to post it. And as always, thanks for watching.